I was immediately like, what the heck? I will speed it up a little bit and I'm gonna do a little voiceover and all of these things. I'm like, I think that's all I'm gonna need. You can just sit back and watch me transform this thing. This is her, this is it. Doesn't she look so much better now? Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and today I have a video for you that is what I think going to be useful, especially for my newer synthetic wig wearers. But before I jump into everything, I'm gonna remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. So just to jump right to it, you guys, today's video is gonna be essentially a bit of a tutorial video on what to do when you get a brand new wig, a brand new synthetic wig, take it out of the box, put it on your head, and then you're immediately like, what is this?
What the f is this?
What have I purchased? This does not look like the stock image. How do I make it look better? What do I do now? And I was inspired to make this video for a couple reasons. One being that I have a lot of women who message me this question all the time and they're like, my wig doesn't look like the stock image. Why does it look like this? How do I fix it? How do I make it look better? And the other reason I was inspired to make this video was because I'm gonna show you. I got a Julianne Lite by Jon Renau, which is a beautiful wig. It truly is a lovely wig. I've had many Julianne Lites, or I haven't personally had many Julianne Lites, but I have tried many Julianne Lites. But this one, there's nothing wrong with it. It is not a faulty wig. It is made just fine. However, let me show you. When I put this on, I was immediately like, what the heck? What on earth? This is not the Julianne Lite that I know. And I can guarantee you that if you were new to wigs and you got this wig thinking it looked something like this right here, and that's what you were supposed to get, and you put this on your head, you would likely immediately take it off, you would want to return it, and then you'd probably get mad at whoever you ordered it from being like, you sent me the wrong wig! This is not what I asked for! I don't want to shop with you anymore! Ah! And look, I get it. I do. I've had women come to me before to be like, you sent me the wrong wig. And then they share a picture of their wig with me. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's the right wig. That's the same wig you ordered. But unfortunately, like you need to do just a little bit of work to it, which look, I get it. I know that's frustrating. I know it's annoying. I know we don't want to have to do that. But to be honest with you, that is kind of in the nature of these synthetic styles. Sometimes you're lucky and you get a synthetic wig and it comes out of the box and it is like ready to go. And you have to do basically nothing but maybe change the part. And then it's like, amazing. Off you go. You can wear it out into the world and it's just perfect. But sometimes you get a synthetic wig and this is what it looks like out of the box. But look, when you're purchasing from a big brand that doesn't do custom orders, they manufacture their wigs in bulk and then they go into boxes and they sit in these boxes. They sometimes set in a way that looks like this. And then you get it out of the box and you're like, this is the wrong one. But look, like I said, this is not a faulty wig. There's nothing wrong with the cap. There's nothing wrong with the fibers. The fibers are lovely. It's just the style has been set in a way that is not flattering and very confusing. But what I'm gonna do for you guys right now is in real time, well, sort of in real time, I'm gonna do this all in front of you, but I'm gonna speed it up a little bit so you don't have to sit here and watch me forever. So I'll speed it up a bit, but you're gonna watch exactly what I do to this wig to make it look a lot better. And that way, by you watching me do this, it might give you the confidence and willingness to maybe play around with a wig that you got that you maybe had high hopes for, but it came out of the box looking a little funky. So like I said already, I'm wearing the wig called Julianne Lite. Actually, did I mention it? Now I can't remember if I said the wig already. Anyways, just in case I didn't say, this is Julianne Lite by Jon Renau, and this is the color 6, which is just a lovely medium brown color, medium leaning on the darker side, I should say. This is a plain synthetic wig. This is Jon Renau's light cap. So this is fully hand-tied stretch cap. It has silicone on your ear tabs. It has lace that goes all the way around your ear tabs even. You have a silicone nape. This is a very comfortable cap. It feels so nice on my head, but it does not look nice on my head. And when you get a wig that looks a little bit funky and the fibers are kind of going in ways that you don't want them to, for example, here they're coming totally forward and like it just looks weird here. But if you have fibers going in weird directions, things in places you don't want them in, the best possible solution for you is going to be using a little bit of heat, even on regular synthetic wigs. Now today, when I'm doing this with you, I only have 3 things I think that I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be using my Envy 3-in-1 Air Styler. I'm gonna be using a wide tooth comb, and I'm gonna be using some water. And all of these things, I think that's all I'm gonna need. I might in the middle of this be like, oh, I need something else and run and get it. But I'm pretty sure this is all I'm gonna need. Now, if you don't have an Envy 3-in-1 Air Styler, don't fret. This is something that is honestly pretty useful if you do have plain synthetic styles, because this has a temperature gauge that you can drop it down to a lower temperature setting where it's not going to burn and singe your fibers. But if you don't have an Envy 3-in-1 Air Styler, that's okay. You could use a blow dryer on a low heat setting. You can use a steamer for this, like a regular fabric steamer. I have several videos on steaming as well. You could use even a regular hot air brush at a low heat setting as well. But just in case you're a little worried about any other heat, what I would suggest for you to do with any heat that you're planning on trying is do a little test patch at the nape of your wig. So I would just take a small little chunk at the nape where it's, inconspicuous, where you're not gonna see it on the outside, where, if you end up singeing it or burning it or wrecking it, it's not noticeable. So I would take just a little test strand and put your heat on that to see if it's going to withstand it. And that's gonna give you a little bit more comfort to then move forward with the rest. All right, let's get started, shall we? So like I said, I'm gonna just do this right in front of you. And as I do this, I will speed it up a little bit and I'm gonna do a little voiceover to explain some things as I go. I won't talk the whole time, but you can just sit back and watch me transform this thing so that we can get it looking quite a bit better and something that I would actually wear.
So we're going to start by taking off the wig and shaking it out just to wake up the fibers a bit. But now I've grabbed my wide tooth comb, not a bristle brush, just a wide tooth comb, and I'm combing through it to separate those curls. Julianne Lite comes pretty ringlety, and they definitely need a little bit of a comb through to separate them. Now I'm grabbing my water spray bottle and I'm spraying just at the roots on the top where the monofilament is. Once I've sprayed that, got a little bit damp, I'm gonna grab my Envy 3-in-1 Air Styler with no attachment on it. I'm gonna turn it, well, I'm not turning it inside out, but I'm going from the inside of the cap with the hot air blowing into the cap right here. This is going to give the top some volume so that the fibers aren't too smushed against my head. And now when I put this on, you are going to see how ridiculous she's going to look. Look at all that volume I gave her. Okay, now I'm combing forward with my wide tooth comb and drawing a line where I want my part to be. And then again, just combing her out. But you can definitely see the added volume that I gave her with all that hot air. Now I put the round styling brush attachment back onto my Envy 3-in-1 Air Styler and I'm spraying some water at the roots and the front of my hairline. Now I'm going to take my Air Styler and put it on high heat setting. That's right, I said high. It doesn't burn the fibers, don't worry. But the goal right here is a couple things. I am directing my fibers back and away from my face so they aren't flopping forward. And I'm also adding heat at my part line to help set the part. And I forgot some clips. So here I am coming back with some clips so that I can cool and set these fibers back and away from my face. And so I can set that part line and let it just cool and dry like that. While I let these fibers cool in place, I'm just going to take my wide tooth comb again, just give it one more comb through, and then I'm going to grab my water. Water is really great to use for styling synthetic wigs. I personally am not someone who loves using products on my synthetic wigs. I don't like adding extra gunk and extra weight to my styles. So for me, water is a great thing to use to just bring out that curl pattern a little bit more. Now that I've let my part set and I've let the fibers set back and away from my face, I'm taking out the clips and brushing through and also adding a little bit of water to the top layer of my style here.
Okay, you guys, that is it. That is all I really have to do. You know what? The only other thing I would probably do to this is trim this lace, because these light caps here have very long lace fronts. So you can kind of see that here. Although it melts okay on my skin, there is like a line, I like to call it, it's kind of like a muffin top. You know, when you wear too tight pants and then you have like that bulge over top of your pants. That's like this lace front. When I like wrinkle my forehead, there's like a little mini muffin top right there. So I would probably cut this lace back a little bit. I do have a video on cutting lace if you are interested in how to do that. I'm not gonna do that right now because I don't know, I'm gonna wait and see if it bothers me too much, and then I might do it later. Anyways, this is her, this is it. Doesn't she look so much better now? Like, so much better. There are even more things you could do. I also have a video on how to make your part line a little bit less evident and a little bit more realistic by using silicone tape and by using some powder to sort of lighten up your part line and blur the knotting a little bit. So I have a video on that as well that I think could be handy if you want to make it look even more realistic in your part line. I'm not gonna do all that here though, because like I said, there's lots of other videos I have on what to do in certain situations. But hopefully having you guys watch me do this, like from start to finish, and sort of walk you through what I did is gonna give you, like I said, that confidence and the willingness to try this yourself. Because sometimes you are going to get those styles out of the box that just look absolutely insane and they look ridiculous, and you're just like, no way is this ever gonna look any better. But you know what? It can, and it will look better. You just have to, you know, be okay with giving it a try. And you know what? Something you could do is always get like a really cheap wig somewhere. That can be your practice wig, and you can do all sorts of things to it where you're not going to feel bad about it, but it gives you the opportunity to play with heat and styling to see what you can do. Now remember, this one here is a regular synthetic wig. It's plain synthetic fiber. It is not heat friendly. So when you are using heat on a plain synthetic fiber, you just need to make sure you are using low heat. And like I said, the NV 3-in-1 Air Styler has a low heat option on it. That being said, I was using the high heat function on this. I don't know if you can see that little arrow pointing to high. I was using the high heat function on this the whole time, and I have not found it hurts or burns or singes my plain synthetic fibers at all, and it works for me. But still, with any heat you use, always use the low setting just to be extra cautious. And then, like I also said before, you can use a steamer as well, just like a fabric steamer, to help direct your fibers in different ways. But look, you guys, the overall takeaway from this video is don't judge a wig as soon as it comes out of the box. Yes, the stock image looks a little different from what you got, but the stock image is there also to show you the wig's potential. It can show you what it can do. So even though you're getting it out of the box and it looks smushy and it looks funky and the fibers are going in weird places and weird directions, it doesn't have to stay like that. The great thing about wigs is that you can play with them, you can make them your own, and you can do things to them to change them up, to switch them up, and to make them into something that's going to work for you. So don't write a wig off as it comes directly out of the box, because it's just a smushy little wig in a box that just needs a little bit of love sometimes. So hopefully this video was helpful for you, or at least a little bit eye-opening. If this was helpful, I'd love for you to let me know in the comments so I know that, you know, I'm on the right track of what I'm doing. If it wasn't helpful, or you wished I would have done something else or added something to show you something, I don't know what your train of thought is, but if there's something more you wish you would have seen, Also, let me know in the comments. I always love taking your feedback and seeing if there's, more content I can create with the feedback I am given. Or if there are other topics, other things you want to see from me, also let me know in the comments, just so I have a whole list of things that I can create for you and help you with as you go through your journey. But that is all I have for you today. So I'm gonna let you go skedaddle, enjoy your day, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.